Hello, and welcome to our lesson on crisis management. In this segment, we'll continue discussing crisis management phases. Feedback phase of crisis management. Throughout the implementation phase, knowledge of results is critical to ensure that planned and actual performance are realigned. This information is known as feedback, and it is acquired by internal monitoring of the organization to collect performance data. Performance feedback should be continuously assessed about project goals, and if necessary, further adjustments made until planned performance is in line with actual performance. This may take some time, and in this respect the crisis management process is likely to be a cyclical one that should continue until the organization is back on its feet. In the reality of a project, getting performance feedback can be a problem due to factors related to monitoring, such as poor communication, conflicts of interests, time pressures, and difficulties identifying and measuring project goals. Acquiring feedback from those who stand to lose from a change is likely to be particularly problematic, and an important aspect of crisis management must be the identification of potential losers. Even better would be the creation of a risk-sharing structure that ensures such conflicts of interest do not exist in the first place. Recovery phase of crisis management. Depending on how well the crisis was handled, the aftermath may present significant psychological and physical damage that must be rectified and come to terms with. The initial emphasis during this phase should be on recovery, which involves returning an organization to normal as soon as possible. Recovery demands time and sensitivity, since there may be internal and external investigations to handle and damaged relationships to repair. Much of the psychological damage is not likely to surface immediately, since people, traumatized by events, may bury unpleasant memories in their subconscious. The main problem for crisis managers arises from people's natural desire to look forward and from their reluctance to recall uncomfortable events. This issue must be fully addressed, not only for ethical reasons, but because latent psychological disturbances may reemerge at some point in the future and play a part inducing further crises. Learning phase of crisis management. Crises present profound learning opportunities by revealing important improvements for application to future crises. They can reveal weaknesses in an organization that would otherwise not be evident, and they can contribute to improved effectiveness through the unlearning of crisis-causing behaviors and procedures that may be ingrained within an organization. In many ways, learning and unlearning are arguably the most important phases of crisis management because much of the knowledge we use today has been acquired from analyses of past mistakes. The time-pressured, temporary, transitionary, fragmented, and divided nature of project organizations does not encourage the far-sighted attitudes that inspire people to learn and unlearn. Despite these potential problems, a desire to learn is the key to preventing repeated mistakes and improving performance. This highlights the role of the forensic manager, the person charged with investigating an incident to establish its lessons. The process of forensic management. In addition to internal investigations to learn from an incident, a project may be involuntarily subjected to external forensic investigations with legal ramifications due to mandatory government investigations or claims for compensation by an injured party. Forensic investigations involve data collection and analysis. Usually, an investigator works back from the time of an incident to its origin. The first step is to identify what may have changed between the time of the incident and the start of the investigation. The second step is to determine and map the exact sequence of events that led to the incident by using techniques such as fault tree analysis. The final phase of analysis is the evaluation of pre-existing conditions that set the accident in motion. Forensic investigation data is usually collected via interviews, observation, surveys, photography, and document inspection. The process may also involve laboratory work to test materials, or even a full simulation or a reconstruction of events surrounding an incident. The forensic team. Most crises have a variety of technical, physical, procedural, and human causes, which means that the forensic manager would coordinate a team of people who have the necessary range of skills to investigate these dimensions. This may include such divergent professionals such as management consultants, psychologists, police, fire investigators, engineers of all types, union officials, lawyers, traffic accident investigators, accountants, manufacturers, surveyors, and pure scientists. To ensure impartiality in the investigation process and widespread acceptance of its results, it is often best to appoint an outsider who has the respect of all parties to manage such investigations. Expert representatives of all potential stakeholders who may be implicated in blame should also be included. The whole process of conducting a rigorous investigation takes considerable time and money, and it should be started as soon as possible after the event, as evidence is often destroyed during rescue or cleanup operations. The end result of the process is a report that should identify the causes of an accident rather than allocating blame. The best forensic reports stick objectively to the facts, as sometimes it is impossible to determine the causes of a crisis. Reports should be written constructively as a basis for negotiation. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we will discuss emergency planning in projects. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening, and see you on our next segment.